Hey guys, welcome back to Exotic Car Hacks, and today we have a pretty good treat because I want to show you something real quick. I did something pretty awesome, which is, you see, this is my Ford GT. This is a 2006 with almost 1,000 horsepower, made like 860 to the wheels. It's a crazy whippled 2006 four-option Ford GT, and if you've been looking at the values of the Ford GT, you're noticing that at the time I did the video when I bought this car, it was in the 200s. Now it's in the 450 to 500s, which is pretty crazy to imagine that much gap in such a short time. But thanks to everything that's been happening in the car market, that has helped accelerate the path to the million for the car. Now, I did say eventually this would be $1 million car. I guess we'll have to wait and see, and I'm going to keep it for a while to do that. But one of the things I'm pretty excited about today is that for a very, very long time, I have been trying to get my hands on a newer Ford GT, but the issue was I couldn't find a single one I liked. You see, I have a very love and hate relationship with the new Ford GT for a couple of reasons. And the first reason is because, one, I think it looks kind of weird. Like, it has this weird opening in the back, and it looks kind of robotic and bizarre. And then for another reason is that I've never been able to find one that was, one, priced even fairly, because all of them were like asking twice MSRP. But in many cases, even the ones that were asking twice MSRP were almost asking 3 times MSRP when it came to having like the right options, like the carbon wheels, the carbon package, and everything else that comes with it. For that very same reason, I decided that I was going to finally find a Ford GT. So I went to town over the last month or so, and I was trying to do this before my birthday. It unfortunately didn't work out that way. But I was trying to buy myself a brand new Ford GT, like the new body, for my 40th birthday. And so I kind of missed that deadline, but I finally found the car. You see, I found a 2019 Ford GT with all the carbon options, including the carbon wheels, the upgraded interior, and everything else that comes with it, and a near 600K sticker. And I didn't have to pay 2 times MSRP, so I was pretty happy about that. And I was pretty excited because it was actually local, but it was a color that really spoke to me when it came to the actual car itself and how it flowed with the lines, but it also had something unique. So without further ado, I am now introducing you to my brand new to me 2019 Ford GT. Now, today, we're unfortunately not going to go for a drive or anything because this car just got here. It is going to go get detailed and get ready. But I'm pretty excited about this because this is one of those tri-quote whatever paint jobs that's got the, that's a couple of grand, whatever. And it has the painted, not white, but silver stripes. Now, this is important because one of the things you'll notice is a lot of times you have white stripes, but you don't have white calipers. And here you have matching silver calipers with the carbon fiber wheel. Looks spectacular. And so I thought this was one of the best color combinations for the car. It was either that or a red one that I really liked. I really liked the red tri-quote as well. But I decided this one really made more sense financially, and so the car came out at a better number, and so it made sense. You know, I haven't had a chance to drive this yet. We're going to do that together and review this car in full. But I wanted to kind of show it to you guys and give you guys a quick peek, sneak peek at the car as soon as it got here so that you could really understand kind of what I did, why I did it, and what I think is really cool about it. And at first glance, I tell you, while I'm still not a huge fan of this bizarre dynamic thing going on here, I like it more when the wing's down. When the wing goes up, it kind of creates this completely open flow here. There are some really, really cool features to the car that I want to briefly talk about. So this car, again, had all of these carbon options. You can see the carbon everywhere, which I think dramatically increases the presence and the beauty of the car. But it also had the Acropavic exhaust, which is something that is optional that a lot of people don't do. And I think is a must because the EcoBoost, again, is not a very loud motor. So adding that really, really opens up the car and gives you a much better driving experience. But at first glance, there are a couple of things that I realized instantly like that it really caught me off guard about this car. And the first one was how high of a quality car it is. I never really interacted with one long enough. I had driven one slightly before, but I never interacted with one with all the carbon and everything else to really get a gauge for is this car built well? Because, you know, one of my things on this channel, which is, you know, reviewing cars from an owner's perspective, not from a borrower's perspective, is really to understand, like, do I feel good about my purchase, right? If I spend $600,000 or $1 million on this car, do I feel good about what I bought? Like, are pieces fitting? And if you watch my review of the 812 GTS and how things weren't lining up and had to go to the factory multiple times to get it right, it just didn't make sense why a car that expensive would do that. But, you know, Ford has done a tremendously good job with details. They've done a tremendously good job with paint, and they've done a tremendously good job with craftsmanship, something you don't hear from a lot of manufacturers on, especially these days. And I've said this about Lamborghini. I've said this previously on some McLarens. I've said most McLarens are damaged or not that good. But with this particular Ford, I can clearly tell you that Ford has not only put a lot of thought into the car, but has done a tremendously good job at bringing this to life. And while, you know, many people would argue, well, where does it stand amongst other cars for the money? Well, my argument is I haven't really had time to spend with it, so I guess we'll see during my full review what my real thoughts on the car are. However, I can tell you from a design perspective, from an aesthetic perspective, from a quality perspective, it's up there as one of the coolest and most well-built cars on the market today, which is pretty exciting for me because I'm very OCD and I care about these things. Some people may not, but I pay attention to details. So when things don't line up, when mesh grills are kind of falling off or chipping off, etc., it bothers me. And in this case, nothing of the sort, which is pretty exciting. So I've heard a lot of great things, like the fact that the steering wheel and the pedals adjust, but the seats don't, the fact that they seat so close to each other. So it'll be interesting to see how this dynamic really makes it work when it comes down to driving the car. But today, I just wanted to introduce you to my latest arrival for my long-term collection, the 2019 Ford GT with all carbon packages. So if you, again, want to learn how to turn this exciting and incredible hobby of owning exotic cars into an opportunity to not lose money, in many cases make money, remember that my car hacking training is still in the description, as well as a link to actually join Exotic Car Hacks and learn how to do this step by step. But again, you know, this is my 40th birthday gift to myself, so I'm pretty excited, and I'm pretty excited to put it to the test over the next couple of weeks, and of course do the review together. So just a sneak peek today. It sits now as here's a more of, I should say, part of the collection, but it'll be interesting to see how it fares out against the P1, against the Senna, and of course against its older self, which is something I've been asked a lot. As soon as people on Instagram saw I got this car, they were like, wait, how does it compare to the old one? And honestly, I haven't really had a chance to drive it, spend time with it. When I do, you'll be the first to know right here on Exotic Car Hacks. So like, turn on notifications, and of course subscribe for future content on the Ford GT, and I'll catch you in the next video. Hey guys, PJ here. Now listen, thank you so much for watching my content, and I hope you really enjoyed learning more about exotic cars. But you know what's even better than learning about exotic cars? It's actually owning your very own. In the next 90 days, you could actually have your very own exotic car in your driveway, and you could actually do that without losing any money. Now, thankfully for you, all you have to do is click the link right on the screen right here, and it will take you to my free training right here, which you can take by just clicking this link, and it will give you the ability to learn exactly how to get in and out of exotic cars without ever losing money. Now I know you've seen me all over Netflix, all over the internet talking about this because it works, and it has helped over 18,000 people to date get their very first exotic car. So click the link right now and let me show you how it's done.